How are we feeling about the new tunes? Jiving?
Right.
Really bumping? Get people up and going for a Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I love it.
I like it. I also like that you guys have decorated.
Spooky season,
How
yo.
about them pumpkins? All right. Hey, we got some watchers. Kayla, good morning. It's Tuesday, October
17th.
Don't tell me. Is it the 17th? Holy schmanoli. It's almost Halloween. My son's wearing his winter clothes today. He wanted to wear a snowman, and I tried to put him in Halloween gear, and he said, I'm ready for Christmas. So, same, dude, same. Whew. All right. Let's get this party started because I have guests in studio, which is super exciting. We've been waiting for this for a while. This background looks good today. What do you think? It's like I cleaned.
We're on top of it.
I know. It's like really crisp today. I like it. Okay, and John's beat in the beats.
Yeah, he's wrapping up Beat Harvest. I got some messages from him, been filling in for the morning news and rocking the dials here today. So yeah, he's been telling me he's been having some crazy long days, but
Yeah.
I know gotta love this time of the year.
You can't beat the beats, but you're doing a great job, Dale. Even with one can on.
Oh, yep. This old producer habit.
Okay. Well, let me introduce this show. This is Put a Fork in It. The Grand City's most exciting and favoritely watched show on the YouTube, Facebook, wherever you can find us right now. Twitter, I think we're streaming live on Twitter, so if you hit us up there. I'm going to ask if you are watching today, just give us like a like, a love, a holler, whatever. Just want to know where people are tuning in from today. And my name is Courtney Barstead Logan. I'm a realtor here in the Grand Cities with eXp Realty. You can find me on social media at Grand Cities Living. If you're already watching me, you've been there, you've done that. You can give me a call at 701-580-2024. Let me see, I got to go through all of the funky stuff first. And then if you're real mad or need to contact my broker about something, you can shoot her an email at nd.broker@exprealty.net. So there we go. Everything else, we good there? Yeah. You can find me.
Oh yeah, a bunch of fun things.
good.
I could
So
throw
many
them in.
things.
I'll throw them in on the bottom of the show here too.
Yes. Yep. Dale's got me. So, all right. Well, last week we were talking all things sports. Holy cow. I don't know that I'm even like recuperated from this last weekend because it was exhausting. And I lost a day at soccer, and then Saturday was a real ripper. And then Saturday, I just was crazy. So we are one day after Fan Fest for basketball, which was last night. And in the house today, I have coaches Mal, Coach Mo from women's basketball here. So good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
This is exciting.
I've also lost my voice from this last weekend.
Did
I think.
you?
Yes.
Yeah. We sound kind of Coach Ensis.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
That's not the direction I wanted to go.
No. Okay. Yeah. I had the pleasure of sitting near your husband at the football game.
Oh, sorry.
And that was, our section was a little crazy because there were some bison trickled in. So it was wild, but we'll talk about that later because we're here to talk about women's basketball. You guys have been a month in from formal training, is that correct?
About a month, 3 weeks-ish.
3
Yeah.
weeks, okay.
No one calls it formal training, but yeah.
Formal training. Okay, well, let's shut his mic off. Okay, because like you do your weights, and then they come in, but it's not like legal yet. And then the NCAA says like on this day you can like start running drills,
Yeah,
right?
I know what you meant. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
Listen, if you want to
That's
correct me,
what's
you can get your own show. Okay, yeah. So
I know you don't have much background in sports, so I got you.
I don't. Basketball, I probably know a little bit more about basketball than I do soccer. So there is that because I did play in the 5th and 6th grade. So let's share a little bit more about the two of you and your staff for those that are not familiar. So we're going to start with Coach Mal, head coach in your, 4th season. 4th?
Yes.
Because you were, okay.
I was interim for a year,
Yeah.
and we weren't exactly the most successful team that
Oh,
year.
okay.
So I like to call that like the practice year.
Yeah, it's got a star by it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we could just remove that.
Yep, okay.
and
Yep.
call it, just the 3, then
three.
the record looks a little better that way.
Okay.
So yeah, so let's just go
Official
with that.
third year head coach women's
Yes.
basketball. But
Yes.
you have been with the program for how long?
This will be my 11th season as a coach.
As a
so
coach.
a long time.
Yeah, and you played here.
I did for 5 years.
Holy cow. So you've been here for like 80 years.
80. That's
80.
the math.
Yep.
Yes.
Fresh from Iowa
Yep.
up to Grand Forks.
Yep.
And this is home now.
It is. Yeah. So was Iowa, grew up there, came up here, played my 5 years, went back home for 2 years, and then right back up here for now 11. So
Oh my gosh, that's what we did. We went to Iowa and we came here. There's no place like home.
correct.
Yeah, see? Yeah. And I don't mean Iowa.
Oh, Iowa's great, but
Yeah.
North Dakota's pretty awesome too.
Way cool, way cool. So, entering your 4th season as head coach,
Yep.
and you have a full team, a whole crew here. Sitting to my right, we've got Coach Mo. A lot of people know him in the community. Where's his
Rocking the visor.
rocking his visor?
Yep.
I
And the
heard
coach
that's what I
steps.
do, so I busted
You
it
are.
out today.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that. And okay, I can't guess your seasons here because
3 months. Been here for 3 months.
yes, you have. You've been here for 3 months. Okay, and you're settling in well.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was great. We already had a house that we had bought from an exceptional realtor.
That's nice.
Way back when, just kind of predicting this would happen. So.
Yeah, I love when people think like I'm gonna come work at UND, so I'm gonna buy a house, and then here we are 3 months later, you're cozying in on it.
Yep.
So, tell us a little bit about your past, sir.
Been coaching longer than my boss, 25 years. I was an assistant, but everywhere, 12 places. Been here 3 times, so that's why I had a house.
See,
Coached her way back when, and been a few places. The hated Gophers, we beat in hockey this weekend. We will beat in hockey this weekend.
Yep. Thank you.
Valpo, Wisconsin, Milwaukee, University of Detroit, other. So, been
Yeah.
around. The show would be over if I said everywhere I've been and how I got there.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I should have said, let's do the short version.
Yeah.
No. Excuse me. Gosh, I feel like we should have done a little like warm up, like, ah.
Formal answer is 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah.
Okay, 3
If you
months.
want an explanation for that, ask her. I'd love to
That's-
hear that
oh,
story, but I'm not
boy.
going to.
Okay, if Brian Sean's watching, please dial in. Brian, please call and mediate this, because we prefaced this last week that, you guys are kind of like, my grandma and grandpa. You're like a great little couple.
Well, what's funny? She can afford to cover her gray, and I just got to let it.
Oh.
I had it with a visor.
Oh, I
so-
just have hair to cover.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I got headphones and this on, so that nobody can tell.
Okay, well,
Let's go.
Let's
do
rumble this. LFG, as the kids say. Let's fart and go. Okay. All right. So let's break it down. You guys had FanFest last night. I apologize, didn't make it. It was after a long weekend. I think we can all remember. You remember what the toddlers were like. Mal's living through it right now. After the long weekend, sometimes after those Mondays at school, it gets a little hairy, scary. So we did not, unfortunately, make it last night. But
It was a good time.
everyone was talking about it. I was getting all kinds of messages. Are you here? This is so cool. Are the players jacked up and excited and ready to do this?
Yeah, it was a fun last night. We had a little clinic beforehand or play with the Hawks, and we just split into groups and got to play games with the men's and women's team. So a little bit of lightning, as they call it up here, or knockout, as I know it as. A little dribble tag, a little dribble war.
Was it
Live
the men's
5-on-5.
versus the women's?
No, we
you
just
should've
kind of
taken
mixed.
them.
I know, we mixed them all. We went head to head in a 3-point shooting contest, and I'd like to think the women won that thing.
Did they?
Yeah, we definitely won the final, but I think overall we probably hit more threes, so it was pretty awesome.
Okay.
The little dunk contest from the men. We actually had a player want to hop in it. We have one of our freshmen, Kira Pemberton. She can throw down.
So she was in the mix.
No,
she got
she wa-
mixed by Noah.
Yeah, she wanted to be. We did not want to risk that injury.
True.
But yeah, she can throw down, and she was ready to. So
Yeah, yeah.
maybe next year we'll see if we can get that on the agenda for FanFest and hopefully get some people out.
Okay, so Nolan gave it a no.
Gave it a no.
Okay, Nolan, Potter.
Yeah.
Come on. Let the kids have some fun. Okay, so who do you when do you start in terms of schedule? Do you have a preseason, a exhibition game, if you
We're
will?
not playing any exhibitions
No,
this year.
why not?
No, we're just doing the closed door scrimmage thing. So we got a couple teams that we'll do that with, but we're not allowed to publicize or do anything with that. They're just for us to play outside competition, and it's a little bit more of a controlled environment where we can work on different things. If we want to work against a press and maybe that's not what that team does, I can actually ask them to press us. And so there's a little bit more of that opportunity. So that's really good for us. But yeah, first official game is November 6th out at Wyoming, and then we hit the Betty November 11th.
Ooh, you have to go to Laramie.
Yeah.
Okay, in the middle of nowhere. Yeah.
Yes.
I know what those games are like because I actually got kicked out of one time because I was just there hanging out, and it was like, you have to leave, and I was like, and they're like, no, you really have to leave.
Yeah, like it's a pretty tight,
was
like
like,
strict rule. So yes.
I was like, sorry, I was just taking a break. But yeah, so can't do that. Okay, so we're going out to Wyoming. Do you have any Wyoming girls on the
We do.
team?
We have one actually.
You do? Okay,
Yes.
okay. So you're gonna have some locals. I feel like there's always like one Wyoming transplant here on all of the teams.
This is
that comes
probably
up.
our first.
Your
so-
first Wyoming?
yeah.
Yeah.
I coached one 23 years ago, but not here.
Yeah. Okay. I like how it's like there was that one Wyoming kid. That might be my kid screaming out there. I'm not 100%
I
sure.
hope he comes in and says hi.
He once in a while will peek in, so we'll see. We'll see if he does. How are you guys feeling about the season, and have you had your preseason rankings? I know there's like a million different polls on the Twitter, so where are you at with that, and how are you feeling about that, either of you?
Well, we got picked 4th.
Okay.
How do I feel about that? I don't know. I'm nervous. Like I'd love to hear what Mo thinks. We're
a little-
super young.
Probably a little too high. Well,
Okay.
the problem is you have to meet or exceed expectations. So when you picked a little lower, that's good news. And we're really, really young.
Yeah.
It's great credit to her. The program's built up and people think of you in that top 4. But yeah, realistically, and you know what? The problem is there's some media that does no homework. So when you had a good season last year, they just kind of throw you there and have
Yeah.
no clue. So
Yeah.
probably a little higher than we'd have put us, but we also know we're very talented and
We do. We
can
have
be really good.
We have a
so.
lot of talent, but we're very young. We have 15 people on our roster, and 11 of them are freshmen and sophomores.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
That's young.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
and so and 7 new people on a roster of 15 is also a lot.
Wow.
So I mean, maybe it's because we sit with them in practice every day, and of course we're just nervous about
Yeah.
that game's coming, and there's so much we feel like we still gotta cover and get in and retain.
Yep.
That's a thing. Maybe that 4 seems a little like daunting right now.
It's a great spot to be in.
We have enough
But-
talent to beat anyone, but we're so young, anyone can beat us. and
Yeah,
it's tough.
I
you
do
know.
think who we're going to be in November is going to be very different than who we are
sure.
in January, February, March. So,
Got to get the jitters out of the young kids.
and
too.
the coach
That's very-
apparently.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got the jitters. Got a little case of the jitters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're not having a baby. I shouldn't be announcing. anything
I'm
like
not
that
having a baby.
during season.
I'm not.
So that was last season. Was it
Yes.
last season? It feels like it was seasons
That was
ago.
last season. Yes.
Seasons ago. Yeah. So I mean, everyone know I talk about mom life a lot, but Mal had a baby, and then just 3 days later came back out and was coaching. So 5.
Shows
Okay.
shows the level of trust she had.
I wasn't going to bring that up, but
Who has a baby in November during the season? But that's another story too. So.
listen, kids, this is how it happens. Okay, that's another show.
I think I was at that game, your first game back, and then I think I heard a couple of days later that you had your kid like a few days before the game. I was like, wow, that's very
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's and I it's so interesting because I was at that game. I thought it was a great game, I'm sure, but this was me the whole time. And I was just watching because like I was living vicariously through her, knowing that I probably didn't even remember how to like put my pants on, 5 days after having a baby. So it was really cool. And, no offense to the men in the room, but it was like, wow, like women, we can really do hard things. So it was intense. So very, very cool. Hopefully you took a little time off during the off season and took a break. And,
Well, I didn't.
Yeah.
But I'll blame that guy.
We're going to talk about self-care here. Yeah. So, yeah, we can blame him for that as well. So there was a lot of stuff going on in the off season, but here we are today. This is where we're at.
There was no one to blame. I got a call saying I need to blame somebody. So come back.
There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so in the grand scheme of things, because you two are good friends. You are good friends. Today you're good friends.
So far.
Okay, today's going well.
Consistently, I will say
Always.
publicly, she's my best friend.
Yeah.
But
You say that I
It's
was
a
your best friend the
different
other day, though,
story,
too.
Oh, I did not.
You
You're my
did?
best friend at soccer
Wow.
games.
Yeah, soccer games. He said
Yeah.
I was his best
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah, well, I had to find someone. I was working, though.
Oh, he had to find somebody.
Wow.
Okay.
How
I
does that
picked your
feel? How does
quadrant,
that
if
hit?
that matters.
It's okay. I have a 4-year-old who once he's like, "You're not my best friend anymore," so I feel it's fine.
Well,
It doesn't
that-
hit me any different now.
So she's kind of like a 4-year-old because it's a daily thing with her. But consistently, she's
But
my
right
best friend.
now we're good. Okay.
Yeah.
So with the team, and I like to do this when I have 2 coaches in, but like, okay, in the team, like who's the fun one and who is the like we got to get stuff done? Or are you both kind of like on the same wavelength with the team? What would you say?
No one's fun to the
No
team.
one's fun.
I mean,
Oh,
if
what
the
a-
team had to look at us, I would say.
They'd say you're boring.
Yeah, maybe they'd pick me, but they like her better. So I don't know.
They like you better because you're more fun.
I don't know if I'm fun though.
No.
I'm-
Okay. Is there anything fun about being on your team? Maybe we should have your players
Yeah.
here.
Wow. Maybe we don't.
Yeah, like I watched your guys' little scavenger hunt, you know, and I was like, this looks fun.
They
you
loved
know?
it.
They
It was
loved
great.
it. Yeah, they were having fun. Like there was a lot of trash talking, and I was like totally in for it. I watched the whole video. But like, are they like, okay, you know what? Like we need a little peace break. Like, can we have a little, you know? Like, did they come over to you and like throw one-liners and like laugh? Like, who's the
Well,
funniest one?
okay, so
Probably Alex. Probably Alex. Is the
Alex
fun
is pretty
she
fun.
has to run practice. I will wander around occasionally,
And chirp.
quietly and say something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
I'm not dancing or making a spectacle.
I
to
would
get
never
them,
expect you to
Yeah.
dance.
Well,
No, neither
Long
of you.
time ago.
No dancing.
one. You're not going to get it.
No. Okay. Yeah. No
It's happened in
dancing.
practice in the past, but not us.
Yeah. Okay. Like the soccer girls were commenting on Danny's wardrobe, you know, and things like that. So I always like to know kind of like where the players at. And I really feel like maybe we should have some of your players in because they could really break this down.
I
Like
think this could be interesting.
this could be really interesting. So we'll bring them in. Yep. We'll set another show. Who's the organized one of your staff? And if they're not here,
It's
give 'em a shout out.
me, and that's not even like
Oh.
up for debate. I mean, can you argue that?
No, she is more organized.
She's
than
the
me,
organizer.
but I've improved in that area,
Okay. You're the talker. She's the organizer.
For sure.
Yeah.
and I'm
okay.
the fun one. Outside of practice, for sure.
Outside of practice, you're the fun one. Okay.
I can get on board with that.
Yeah.
I'm not fun. I know this.
Oh, you're not fun?
No.
Okay. Yeah. You know what, though? You're a mom of a toddler. There's nothing fun about us right now. I'm okay. I'm in my unfun era. It's totally
Well,
fine.
you have her beat by a mile. That makes you feel better.
Thanks.
You do.
Thanks. Really trying. These are really hard-hitting questions that people want to know. So when you guys are on the road, what's your go-to meal? Who chooses this?
Do we have a go-to?
Well, because so we try to feed them something similar every game. For
Okay.
occasionally, if she's in a fun mood, which is rare, we might get a different meal. But no, there's no.
Well, what's your fun meal?
I would say this.
don't
It,
know.
it doesn't happen now, but we used to get canes. They love that. We don't have a go-to though. I mean, go-to is just
yeah,
pasta.
I mean,
and-
we do a lot of like burrito bowls and that kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
So you're like, load up. We're going to Chipotle.
I mean, they love Chipotle. They think that's like the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
I'm kind of team Qdoba, to be honest.
Same.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a queso for me.
But
Yeah.
I agreed.
Yeah.
But we do a lot of that stuff. We'll do a lot of pasta. The team loves Olive Garden. So
Okay. This must be like a UND sports thing because
Do they
all
all
the players
love Olive
love
Garden?
an Olive Garden to go.
they really do.
Yeah.
And so we'll do quite a bit of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like honestly, we'll do, if we get a road sweep, we'll go get some ice cream. That's a pretty big deal.
Ooh.
And
Okay.
you're at the whim of where you are. I mean, there's some places you
yes.
get anything. some
Popeyes,
places you
one
can't get
place
a-
is
Yeah. Where
Yep.
are you going in Vermilion? I mean,
I just don't go.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, Laramie, you're
Smart.
pretty limited. Yeah.
Hey,
So
cannot be worse than Vermilion. So
that's true. That's true.
it's
I
just
could
not
think
a
of
lot of
some,
options.
I can think of some real fun places. So, so let's talk about your returners. You've got 4 returners this year.
Well, 8.
Oh, 8 returners. Sorry, I'm thinking
We have
yes.
4 upperclassmen.
4
but
upperclassmen, 8
return-
returners.
Yes.
Okay, and those are you have sophomores. Do you
Yeah,
have
this
sophomores,
is going to
seniors?
really test
Yeah.
my brain here. Okay, so 8 returners. We have Casey Barovich, Samaya Hoskin, DJ Davis. Those would be the 3 upperclassmen returners. And then we have, of that sophomore group, Nakaya Hurst, Rakaya Beal, Michaela Almer, Miranda Vanderwall, who technically falls in that class, and
good job.
There's one
Other.
more.
I don't
no,
know.
I can't do this. I
Oh,
got
That's
Darcy.
okay.
Darcy,
Talk
our
about
Wyoming kid.
Yeah, there you
Wyoming
go.
kid.
Darcy.
Okay, so you have no juniors.
technically DJ Davis.
Okay.
I mean, she shows up on our roster as a senior, but she does have one more year of eligibility. So this is the whole COVID thing where I have actually
know.
no idea how old anyone is. I think Miranda actually shows up on our roster as a junior, but she has a redshirt year.
Yeah.
And I think you have like someone's 34. We don't know.
It might be.
That's right. Right.
I wish.
Yeah, they're finished their PhD here.
Yeah.
Is are your 3 seniors COVID seniors, or are they fourth year?
Yes, all 3 of
So
them.
everyone's taking their COVID year.
Yeah.
This is all 3
So we have-
COVID years, yes.
Okay. So you've had them now for 5 years here.
Well, Casey, you've had for 5 years. Samaya transferred to us, so this will be her 3rd year in the program. And then Destiny Oberg is a transfer to us from Minnesota, so this will be her 1st year in the program.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So what does that look like then when you've got your true veterans who have been here for, because if they have a red shirt, they could have been here 6 seasons, right? With this COVID year.
Yeah, we don't
right?
have anybody in that category.
Okay, just football. But if you've got 5 years and you've got your freshmen coming in, how does that play in now versus what it's been in the past? Just because you've got a few more years under your belt per se, but you've got your heavy veterans versus is that helpful, or do you see it as like a huge gap? Like, what does that look like just in general for a team?
I mean, I think there's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a huge age disparity between a 23-year-old and, I mean, we have someone on our team who's still 17.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that feels like a pretty large age gap. But it's also really good because there's a little bit of that. I have been in the program. I know the expectations. I know most of what we're trying to teach and how we go about things. So I can kind of help. You know, we're only limited. We're limited by hours until we start, what was it?
Official.
Formal training. Until we
training.
start formal training. And so there's a little bit of that players help coach type situation
Yeah.
before we get to those segments.
Yeah. And now next year you will have some juniors,
Yes.
so you won't have as young of a team. I'm learning about a lot of this with the different programs with people that have their
Yeah,
COVID
we'll be young,
years.
but we
It's gonna
won't
be-
have any. We'll have one senior, which is going to
Right.
be weird. So
Right.
Right.
know,
So
but-
statistically, next year's like your big strong year because you've now.
Well, because we're so young, we will have a lot of players gain a lot of experience.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just
Yeah,
the
they
reality
have
of
to.
it. And so, yeah, next year we still may have youth in terms of only one senior, but we'll have experienced youth, which is a great position to be in.
Yeah, experienced youth.
Yes.
That sounds like a great
we're gonna-
after-school
We're going
program.
to be
So
we're gonna
much
be really
formal
good
training.
next year.
So
I
much
think
formal
we'll
training.
be really, really good next year.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be here to see it, but we're really, really
Jeez,
good.
Louise, we can't go through that again.
It's always crapshoot when you work for Mal. So.
hey,
That's not true.
it's not true. No, it's not true. Plus, you own a
how many
house.
schools?
How many schools?
1 3 times and then 11 others.
See?
Maybe no,
And she
12.
wasn't with you
know,
every
Now that I
time.
think about it, if you count this year,
Yeah.
then 12.
Yeah.
And you can't blame me for all but one.
Yeah.
No, but okay,
See?
you know,
Yeah. Yeah. Dale's like, do I need to shut a microphone off?
no, you know, like,
Muted the
what-
mics.
Yeah.
No.
So
What
here's a
game-
great Dale. I'm glad you're here because
Uh-oh.
I kind of think there's a conspiracy going on. 'cause
Conspiracy?
I think she wanted to sell a house, and they kind of conspired to like, hey, let's get this guy out of here.
Oh
And,
no.
yeah, exactly.
I was like, things are looking rough in my world, so who can you try to push out?
There we go.
Yeah.
We can get those sales
And then,
up.
and then
What
my,
I do.
my wife threw a wrench in it, and there
Yeah.
you go. So,
Well, your wife's going to be on the show next week, so we'll find out.
Oh.
Yeah. That would be amazing.
I can't wait.
Bring the kids
that
on.
is not true, right?
Yeah, it might be. We'll see. Yeah. Yeah.
End of the show next week. You're gonna need a call. I got a house.
Yeah. Another house. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. We'll
that,
get
that
there.
would make her day too. So there you
Yeah.
go.
Which games are you most excited about? I know we as the public like to see our rivals, but are there other games that you're like, I am super pumped to take this team on this year?
I think our answers will be very different.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's
Well, I mean,
start with my right. Tell me.
The
For you.
Yucky Bison, of course.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, that's what you're
But
looking forward to.
the red letter game is Eastern Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
That's a
Well, that's
must-
got some history.
Must win. Yeah.
Yeah,
If
again.
we go 1-30, which we won't.
Oh, jeez.
That's the one.
That's all he cares
See,
about.
yeah, this
Okay.
is where,
No,
like
I care.
said, we
I care.
disagree.
I care about a lot more. But you said, "What's the game?"
Yeah,
I
the
want to
game.
win
Okay.
them all. I don't,
Yeah.
not gonna,
Yeah.
You know, come on. But that's the game.
Okay.
And that's
okay.
the game we should all rally around the Hawks and B and the Betty and yeah.
That's the one.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, okay, that's where, again, I'll go with any school that has Dakota in the name.
Yeah. Okay.
And so those are pretty big ones for us. If we want to go non-conference, though, to kind of hit what he's talking about, I look at like Montana State as one of those. We've
yeah.
kind of had the Big Sky rivalry with them a little bit.
Yeah.
So I feel as though that's a pretty big one. Grand Canyon got us last year, so
Yeah.
and they just got picked first in their conference, so that feels like a pretty big one.
Yeah.
And it's early. It's our first game in the Betty.
What's up
So-
with them, man? They're just like they're hitting it hard with all their sports. This
They
year. Yeah.
are. They are.
Yeah. Who goes to Grand Canyon? It's like in the middle of nowhere, and I don't know.
Yeah.
No, it's,
Okay.
it's not actually near the Grand Canyon. It's
I
right
know.
there in Phoenix. They got a lot of good things going. I mean,
Kind of
I can see why people go there. I'd go
Yeah.
here first, but yeah,
Yeah. I'm not going there unless I'm
But-
in the actual Grand Canyon.
It's kind of sad though that
Yeah.
supposed best friend doesn't really want to win the big game you want to win. I want to beat
I wanna-
Montana
I wanna
State.
She
win-
wants to win
I wanna-
all of them.
I love beating Montana State too. That
She wants to
border
win all of
rivalry
them.
means more to me than the one south of us. But
Really?
yeah, for sure.
Okay. Okay.
But because
Yeah.
Montana's not a disgusting state to set foot in, so
Oh no.
there's the friendly side of the rivalry too. It's just fun to beat them, and a little more cachet to those schools.
Yeah.
But
And then there's the heat that comes with the Dakota schools. And are they in the 1, 2, 3 slot?
They are.
All of them are.
Yeah.
Okay,
No.
so it's Dakota, Dakota,
No,
Dakota,
no.
Dakota. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yaki Bison, Eastern Michigan, Montana State.
Okay. No, in
No,
the
in
preseason
the
poll.
preseason poll.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
Oh
sorry.
yeah.
In the
So it's
preseason
all
poll.
the
It's
Dakotas in the
It's
1, 2, 3, 4.
1 South Dakota State, 2 North Dakota State, 3 South Dakota, 4 North Dakota.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Okay.
yes.
No pressure. No pressure at
None.
all. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. We all know what that's like. Well, we got the path paved a little bit. Hopefully, we knocked a little bit of the crown off on Saturday with that great win against the Stinky Bison. So hopefully, we can get that. Got a tie in soccer, and now it's up to you guys.
Oh, no, it's
you
a big day in Fargo tonight.
And volleyball.
They
yeah.
go, they go play the
Yeah.
Stinky Bison
The,
tonight.
and the
or
beautiful
Colin.
part is, I will give mad props to Midco Sports for being able to watch those games. Like now that they're doing volleyball, we can catch you guys on the road. Now that they're doing the Summit League games, it's so nice to be able to do that. And also, if you can't always make it to the Betty, you can tune in at home. So when people say like,
And Bichon is super good at what he does. So.
yeah, he does a new volleyball though.
No, but
Yeah, he does your
he
sports.
did Saturday.
No,
He
yeah,
was-
yeah
he
it's
rocked
it's
it.
the Summit League Network, the new
Yeah.
platform the Summit League put out.
Yeah.
Awesome,
So nice.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's gonna be able to stream and watch every single game, even for us. There's nights when we'd want to watch a game and Denver's behind a paywall, and it's like I'm probably not gonna pay
Yeah.
Denver any money.
Yeah.
So I'll wait 24 hours till that stream comes up and just listen to it on the radio. So it's awesome.
Yeah.
Phenomenal deal.
Yeah, it's so nice. And I think, too, for people that can't make it out, it's in the winter, whatever it is, like, still tune in because it's amazing coverage. You get to learn all about, and it's wonderful just to be able to, hear a little bit more. That's something that I like about sports that I don't know a ton about. That's what I learned about football. So sometimes I like watching and hearing all the little tactics and things like that you don't always hear about at the game when you're there with a 4-year-old. So sometimes it's nice to be able to tune in and learn a little bit more about that. So you guys have some new staff this year as well. So tell me about your new staff
It's
you've got.
Basically a whole new staff
Whole
if
new
you want to
staff,
count
yeah.
Mo as
Yeah.
new.
3 months.
That's right.
Yeah,
Born-
welcome.
born again.
I've been here the shortest
Born
amount of
again.
time, actually.
You
yeah.
have. Okay. Yep.
So
Yep.
born again Mo.
Yeah.
And then Travis Bledsoe, he played on our men's team about a year or two older than I was, so around the same era. And then Sabra Wimberly from Detroit. So she's had the junior college background, does have some head coaching experience, which is great as well. So yeah, all new.
Very cool. And
Feel
Alex?
like Alex was around, I guess.
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
can add Alex. And I guess the NCAA has a new rule where he is able to step on the court and do on-court coaching. So that's a little bit new.
As your director of
nuance.
ops? Or is,
Yes.
Okay.
So he's still in that director of ops, but is able to go on court and do a little bit. So a little nuance, I guess. So
Yeah.
add
You guys
that to
have
the new-
five. You have 5 staff
Yes.
for 15 players.
Yes.
That is amazing. That is really cool, though.
Yeah.
Because you added one more with the new NCAA?
We didn't change.
You didn't change.
No, we
Okay.
still have the same number of staff.
Okay.
So that has not been any different. But they did actually add where 6 coaches could go on the floor. So when you
Yeah.
look at some of these Power 5 rosters, our coaching staffs, they're just huge.
And is 15, is that your max roster for basketball?
There's not really a max roster. That's our max scholarship offers.
Okay.
But we could have X number of
You can have as many
walk-ons
as
if
you
we
want.
wanted. Yeah.
Okay. Is like any at all? Like how big could your bench be? There's no max?
I think 16, 17. I mean, you could. There's no max. Well, there might be a max, but we haven't come close. But we can.
I'll Google that.
Yeah, 16, 17 has kind of happened, but
Yeah.
I mean, the only rules on that are, for a conference tournament, you can only bring so many players. So if you had 6 walk-ons, you maybe bring 2. There's things like
Right.
that.
There might be travel roster limits, but
Right,
there's
but there's
probably not
not.
actual roster limits.
Okay. And all for basketball, I think men's and women's are full scholarship.
Correct.
In Division 1, yeah.
For Division
It
One.
has to be.
Okay. And then we do, this could be, again, it's another show in itself. So UND does offer cost of attendance. And then can you tell more about the new...
701 award.
Yeah.
The Alston 701 academic award.
In
name it.
addition to the...
Yeah, so it's an academic-based award, and it's a set number by the NCAA. So every institution is able to offer a max number of it's $2,990 per semester or $5,980 over the course of the year.
Per student.
Per student,
Okay.
yes. Now, each institution, each program, may be given a certain dollar amount allotment, and they can, divvy that out between their team however they choose. So, every program may be different, and honestly, our program may be different from year to year, depending on if we had walk-ons and how we wanted to kind of move that money around. But it is that max number. What's awesome about it is, especially for our team, we have 5 players from Canada, and all this NLI, all this collective, all the stuff that some of these schools pump and push and say, and they're so proud to offer. Well, that's great. Canadians can't get that. International students are not able to get that. So at UND, we're able to, one, offer the 701 award that international students can't accept. But also it is like a guaranteed thing. NLI can get a little wishy-washy.
Right.
It can get a little, what is
say
actually
something,
happening?
it gets
Coaches
pulled.
aren't
Yeah.
actually involved in that. They're not supposed to be involved in that.
Yeah.
And so there's not a whole lot of control, let's say. This is real. Like, this is money that we're going to offer, and it's actually going to happen.
And that can go, so if you've got on your 15 scholarships, can the 701 award go to a walk-on?
Yes.
So you can
Yes.
say, I can't give you a full scholarship, but I can give you some books money or through this 701 scholarship.
exactly.
And that's through the foundation, correct? Through donor
yes,
funds.
Exactly. So,
Okay.
yeah, our foundation is working incredibly hard to try and get
Yeah.
donations so that we can help fund this, because it is a pretty big thing, and it's across all of our sports right now.
Yeah.
So, yes, that's
And that's
probably
just
our
a
biggest
UND
push.
thing.
Correct, and that's what's
Yes.
awesome too. I think we were at the forefront of this
Yeah.
institutionally. I don't think other Summit League schools were quite ready for us to announce this and be able to do this right away.
Yep.
Where they might have this, like I said, the collective. Okay, great. If you're, the quarterback of the football team, you might have a nice chunk of change.
Yeah,
But
from the mattress place.
correct. But what does that look for, like the women's basketball player?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe they have something great going on, but I don't know. What we have is something that we can guarantee to our entire team.
And is that academically focused?
It is.
Also?
It is an academic award, and
Okay.
so where it is actually a back end award, so they won't get that at the beginning of the year. They actually have to earn it and do what they're supposed to do academically in the first semester, and then they can earn that. And then same thing with the second semester. The caveat we have to it all, which I think is great actually, is you have to stay at UND to get it.
Yeah.
If you hit the transfer portal and you're gone, then that's you
Because
didn't
it's at the
check one.
end.
Yeah, you didn't check
Okay.
one of those boxes.
Okay.
So it is a back end award, which is great. So
Okay.
when donors are saying, "Well, what am I giving my money to?"
Yep.
Well, you can guarantee you're giving it to a UND athlete.
That's staying here.
Correct.
Yes. Yeah. And I know you hit heavy on recruitment. You're always, I can't tell if you're like selling stocks or if you're, because it's always like, whoosh, 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 whoosh. But has that been a big change with players, or is it not hit kind of yet?
It's hit, and some people ask about it. What's great is we have a great answer now.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. And I don't hate the transfer portal. I mean, I don't like that a kid would want to get into it for the wrong reasons, but we just added a very veteran player, which you couldn't used to do as easily with this young team. So as long as you accept what it is and adapt to it, you'll be fine. But we're in a great position with the stuff Mel talked about, as a recruiter. I mean, I can confidently go in and say, hey, I think we're going to be competitive or better than that kind of stuff. But you certainly don't go front end that stuff. I mean, you want people to pick the institution, which is outstanding. Our fan base is incredible. The head coach is okay. So all that stuff sells, right? And then
Yeah.
And then when that conversation happens, you're great. And when you're head to head with someone you're better than, then maybe
Yeah.
you produce that number sooner. But
Yeah.
it's just a great tool to have in the toolbox. But recruiting hasn't changed a whole lot as long as you adapt and
Yeah.
are aware.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I wonder if you'd ask players 10 years down the line what would have been important to them when they were being recruited. And I would guess these players would say, like, it's stuff like this, where now they're looking and saying, like, I finished my master's, I do have some bills, some college, like, to be able to have that would have been able to be nice. And even the cost of attendance and things like that.
And
like,
those things
how
are
is
good.
cool,
I won't
but-
get on a soapbox
Yeah.
very long, but those things are good.
Yeah.
They should happen.
Yep.
NIL and some of the collective stuff is dangerous territory. It was not regulated, and there's some bad players. There's some things
yeah.
that shouldn't be happening and really have kind of tainted college sports, and I agree with those who say it. Players should get something. I don't ever disagree with that. But the way we do it and those kind of things are how it should be done, and they're nice to have. So
Yeah.
I'm with you there.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's important to note too, just like we did with the foundation when they were here for homecoming, like the softball field, that is a donor-led effort. These the 701 funds, that's a donor-led. So when people get all up in arms about athletic money, like, this is people saying I'm giving my personal money to athletics or to a student, and it's not money coming from the state and whatnot to enhance that. So I always think that's super important that people know and recognize that's coming from an individual saying, we want to sponsor that, we want to do this, and it says a lot about our state, our supporters, and the programs
Well,
that
what
they
Mel
believe in.
said too
So,
is where it goes. It
Yep.
goes to a kid who's going to be at UND and the team that you're cheering
Yep.
for,
Yep.
as opposed to something wild, crazy, and then the kid's gone. So
Yep.
it's
yeah.
it's the right way to do it.
Yeah.
A lot of kudos to our administration for getting it done, and the donors for supporting it.
Yeah, very cool. And I mean, if you want to support the entire women's basketball team, just let me know. I'll point you in the right direction. So we've got all kinds of sports looking to be supported, and definitely come out. I know there are season tickets still available for the season. So let us know if you have questions about that. Drop that down there. Very reasonable. Great, easy parking when you get there. Wonderful snacks. I will put that. And then whole new view going on. What's it called?
The fan zone.
The fan
Rocks.
zone.
I love that.
Mo
In fact, I watched
loves the fan
Mel's thing yesterday, Fan Fest. I sat there with my
Fan
family
zone.
and her kids, and
Yeah.
Watch the dunk contest.
He likes the fan zone. When I go, I hide in that section where recruits are able to go. The camera doesn't get to go, right? So I can always be in that corner. So if my kid's picking his boogers, Brianne Rolson's not going to put the camera on me. So I will always be up there. But I will look for you in the fan zone at volleyball, for
and
sure.
possibly our games. Might
Well,
make
if
her
you're in the-
happier to
if you're
have
in
me
the
that far
fan
away.
zone,
So.
that would be amazing. What if, like, you got you tee him up instead and you throw him in the fan zone?
I can tee up people.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can you do that?
I don't know.
You should.
I'll work
Throw a
on it.
flag.
I'm thinking the red card.
You should red card him to the fan zone.
Red card.
The crowd would go wild. Yeah.
Courtney, I can second all your awesome fan experience vouching for you at the Betty Ingolstead. It is a great facility, great
So fun.
great time going around and catch games. I caught a few volleyball and several hoops games last year. It's a blast.
Well, and if you haven't been there this year, it's a whole new look.
It is.
They moved things around. You do have to look for the Dippin' Dots and the beer if you're looking, because those are tucked behind the fan zone.
Yes.
But there's more space on the side, so it's got a cool new view. And hopefully it's better for you guys. I don't know. I'm still getting used to the aesthetics. Nothing changed for you. Your floor's still where it was, right?
Floor's the same. Just a different backdrop.
Just
so
a different
we'll see how the
backdrop.
team shoots with the new backdrop.
Yep. Okay. There we go. All right. First game is November 6th in Wyoming, and November 11th, which is that also
That's at home.
Veterans Day? Is that
Yeah,
yes?
11-11, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that is at home against
Grand Canyon.
Grand Canyon. So home opener. Come here. It's a Saturday.
Yep.
Okay.
It's
block
going to be a
your
late
calendars.
night game.
Okay. Why?
7 p.m.
Why?
Volleyball has senior night that day.
At 3?
Probably noon.
Nooner.
Senior day, practically.
So pull a nooner at volleyball, and then come at 7 o'clock. That's not super late though, but we can
No, that's
handle
pretty.
it.
That's pretty standard.
Yeah, we can handle that. And if not, tune in on the Midcoast Sports.
That's right.
So you can do that. Please come out and support these coaches. They're an amazing team. Cheer loud and proud. Be out there. And if you have questions that I didn't get to ask, feel free to message me, drop it in the chat, and I'll be sure that they answer personally. So thanks for joining me today, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for having
I
us.
didn't bring out too much dirt.
You
Didn't
let
spill
her
too
off
many
the hook.
teas.
You're a good friend to to coach.
Thanks, Seabar.
Yeah, that's what I do. I'd be good friends. Make sure today, with everything you do, you put a fork in it and go Hawks.